Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's HJ Upskills session on the importance of planning the hair journey, which is supported by L'Oréal Professionnel Paris. And this morning we've got Sally Montague, Salon Director at Sally Montague Hair Group, and Angel, Art Director and Head of Education at Sally Montague Hair Group, which is a L'Oréal Professionnel Paris portfolio salon. And they're both going to be talking to us about the importance of planning the hair journey, how to rejuvenate your salon menu and encourage clients to return time and again using the new L'Oréal Professionnel Paris French balayage technique. And I'm sure, as you'll agree, this is more important than ever with Scottish salons going back yesterday and then England salons going back on the 12th of April. And as I said before, this session is supported by L'Oréal Professionnel Paris. So for more information about how you can use L'Oréal Professionnel Paris's two-step French balayage technique as part of your client hair journey planning process, go to l'orealprofessionnel.co.uk/French-balayage-blonde-studio, which you will find in the comments, whether you're tuning in on Zoom or on Facebook. So thank you very much for joining us this morning, Angel and Sally. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Thank you.
we're looking forward to it.
Oh, it's a great start to the day, isn't it? Shall we kick off with you telling us a little bit about the Sally Montague Group and your ethos and USP?
Yeah, so we started getting on for 40 years ago now, so it's a long time, but it's always been much more than just a haircut. You know, the hairdressing's a given that it's going to be great, but it's been all the added extras that we have focused on, so that we make it a real experience, a journey, and that people feel part of what we are creating.
Yeah, it's that experience that we really strive to create for every client. And, we don't want to just see our clients once every couple of months. We like to see them as much as possible, but also they are part of our brand. And yeah, creating that wonderful experience that you can have lots of different services all combined or separately throughout the week or throughout the months is what we kind of strive for.
That's brilliant. And I guess the kind of the essence of the session that we're doing today is about creating that hair journey, isn't it? So do you have any hints or tips you could share for creating a longer term plan and journey for your clients?
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, I think I like to educate the team in breaking it down for the client. Really tell them what they need to do and when they need to come in, what services they need to book in for to maintain their hair at home. There is no point having an amazing colour, cut and blow dry and not doing anything in between to keep that up. I believe that when we see that client for the first time, that is the start of seeing them quite regularly rather than seeing them once every couple of months. I do think it's important, but to really tell them what they need to do and to educate your clients as well on what products they need to be using, what services they need to be booking and how often you need to see them in order to get the result that they want. Because if they don't want that maintenance, then it might be looking at a different kind of service for them.
Yeah, and also being totally honest. I mean, there are some clients that just are not going to achieve that colour they want. They want to be that sort of platinum ice blonde and they've got a base 4. It's never going to happen. And however much of a journey that can be, because we can do things in stages, which we explain to them. This won't happen in the first appointment, but we might be able to get there by appointment number 3. And if by any chance we've got there by 1 or 2, then that's a fantastic bonus. But I just never want to over promise something. But being honest and saying this just won't suit you, but then showing them why. I mean, I've been educated very much in colour that suit skin tone and eye colour and anything that's going to suit your colouring. So I think you can show them how being a platinum blonde, if you've got a sort of much warmer skin and hair, is just not going to happen. And so it's just showing them that and being honest about it.
Definitely. And doing really thorough consultations I think is key. Not don't rush those consultations, because that's where you're going to be able to create that client journey, put that client on a great hair path, and also create that relationship that will evolve. If you just don't see the importance of a consultation, you really you're not going to succeed with that client.
No, in our training, we really stipulate to our apprentices that unless you know exactly what you're doing from the consultation, you don't go to the dispensary and mix your colours, you don't go into the hair spa and start the service. You just wait until you're absolutely sure and you're both on the same page, because that's when it can go wrong, in my experience.
That's a great point. And we had a little chat last week, didn't we? And Angel, you also said something which I thought was crucial, and that was calling it a consultation.
Definitely making, tell the client that you are, you're going to have a consultation before you start the service. Really reiterate the point that it is a consultation, because often clients don't think that they're having one. I know I think
surveys have been done.
Yeah, someone had done a survey. I think it might have been L'Oréal Professionnel.
Yes, I'm sure.
And
it was
a survey on the fact that most clients don't even know that they're having a consultation. And I think it's we as hairdressers' duty to tell them about that they're having a consultation and to really focus on it. And then it can only go up, really. I think if you do a fantastic consultation, that client will hopefully be with you for life. But if you don't, that's where things can go wrong.
And in these times with us going back, we're all going to be very, very busy, and time will be of the essence. So we're doing a video later on for our Instagram to our clients to give them to talk through the consultation and what they could bring to it, because we don't want to go down the chat route of what's happened while you've been, during lockdown, because we've got to we have to know how they feel about their hair, and we want to start that journey with them. And then you can obviously talk to them as you're doing the colour or whatever. But there's key things that we need to know. We can't read their minds, and I think that if they know that, then they can help us with things that they like or things that they really don't like.
Definitely. I think clients don't really know what a consultation is or what they should be saying in that consultation to their stylist. They don't realise probably that their stylist is having to think of how often they style their hair, how often they come in, what their natural base is, how much maintenance. They're thinking of all these things while they're just having a quick chat and talking about, sometimes just talking about what they've done in the lockdown. As hairstylists, it's really important that we gather all the information. So I think we need to educate our clients on what a consultation actually is, and how visuals. They can make the most of it, and visuals.
Yeah, I just think that it's been over the years it's been that sort of thing, or don't take a picture into your hairdresser because that's what they don't want to see that. But that's not true. I think it's really great for people to bring all sorts of different things in to show, or Pinterest board or whatever, just the things that they like. And then that really gives you a great idea because it's more visual.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, visuals are, I think they're very handy for a consultation.
That's fantastic. And I think that's crucial what you were saying there about educating your clients about what a consultation is, because we can't assume they understand that when you're having a little chat at the beginning of a appointment, that is the consultation, unless you tell them that is the case. Are there any key questions that you would make sure you ask during that consultation to make sure you get your client on the right path towards a hair journey?
How much time they want to spend, how much sort of maintenance that they want to do with their hair, because some people literally have got such a busy life and they just want to sort of wash and go and do little as possible. And other people, want to spend time. They're happy to spend time grooming. They might be in a very professional job where they have to look very polished all the time. So I think that's crucial, first of all, to find out what they're going to do with the hair, and then you can work it round to that.
Yeah, I always like to ask, what's your dream hair? Because if you find out their dream hair, you can kind of work it backwards or work towards that goal. If you don't know what their dream hair is, it's very hard to achieve and meet all their all their hair dreams.
Yeah, because years ago, if you wanted you just had to grow it, but of course now you can. There's lots of alternatives. So yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that, and it kind of opens them up a bit, and they realise that there is a path, and it will take maybe time to get there in whatever form it is, but at least if you find that out, you can work
on that journey. Yeah.
Fantastic. And do you have, this again is something we spoke about before, do you have any tips or words of advice for encouraging your clients to go for mixing up their style and their colour and their haircut with maybe more of a wild card option?
think we were discussing because I do quite a lot of wig work. You know, people have lost the hair, and they often want the hair that they've always had, so they look exactly the same, which is what most people want. So I order those wigs in that are just like their hair, and then I often order a Wildcard, which I sort of have as my own little sort of introduction to a new style, because people have often had the wrong style all their life. They could look so much better with something different colour, different cut. So I order that wig in, and you know, 9 times out of 10 they just cannot believe what they look like, and that's the one they have one that looks like them, and then they take the Wildcard as well. But it just goes to show there's a lot of people walking about with the wrong hairstyle, probably because no one's really suggested that they could have something different. I think it's being brave and saying, you know, well, you know, if you want this today, that's fine, but I really think this would suit you. I really think if you went a bit darker, or if you put some texture, some definition in it, some different tones, then that would look great. So people really think about it. Once you've said it, the seed is set. They might not have it done that time, but they will come back for it.
Would you recommend making subtle changes over time to encourage them to kind of change up their style? Would you kind of put them on a slow process as opposed to doing one big wow in a single appointment?
Doing that, I think it mixes it, and it's a hairstylist. You know, we sometimes get a bad press for some reason of always doing the same thing, which I don't think is true. But I think it's so rewarding to just do that little tweak and then hear how they got on with it last time, and then make tweaks again. We want to be mixing things up, so I think
we do. And seasonal, I mean, I really think the seasons bring the colour into the client, and then that gives them always something to come back for. So, you know, we're now going into spring, summer, so I'm going to have a lighter bit put in my hair, and I'll probably have a few pastel tones, the pale pink and the apricot. And I think if you do it yourself, especially you know, as you get a bit older, more like me, people are frightened of having something different. But if they see it done in a subtle way, you know, I had some pink put in my hair about last summer, and every client at the salon was having it done, but they were excited by it. Was something a bit different, but you know, it's very subtle, and just as long as they realise it's probably going to fade out within, you know, they were always saying, I don't want to be bright pink. I said, don't worry, you won't be. But it's an introduction to colour, and I think doing it in baby steps for some clients, it's just gauging your client really, whether that's the client or not. But most people want to look more natural and do things gradually, I find.
Brilliant. And I think we've got to bring in balayage, because that is an interesting one when it comes to the hair journey. So maybe could you tell us a little bit about the new L'Oréal Professionnel Paris French balayage 2-step technique, and how you can use that to extend your client's journey? It's often that fallacy with balayage that they come in once and you don't see them again. So
yeah, and I do think you know, balayage has moved away from, it's not a trend anymore. It is really a service, and I think it's really important that salons get on board with that and look at it in a really positive way. You know, L'Oréal have reinvented balayage for us, and you know, they've got some incredible visuals. You know, calling it French balayage is fantastic, and it's a great way of you know,
everyone wants to be French, don't they?
Everyone wants
that sort of special chic look.
Yes, so I think, and it's really, it allows the hairstylist to be super creative as well, which I think is great. And I do think that, you know, what we are entering now is a time of unknown. We are, as hairdressers, we are going to be really flat out busy for, you know, hopefully 6 weeks at least, and then things will start to change. You know, depending on if I'm thinking about last time. So I think it's really important that we get those clients in who are having French balayage service at the beginning, but we need to be rebooking them in for small steps in between. You know, for their second service, it might be refreshing and toning the hair. For the third service, we might look at reframing the face. And then for that third service, it may even be taking it down. You know, once we've made that foundation, we might want to then darken pieces to
some root smudging or something like that,
to redefine the hair. So it's just really about making sure that every stylist in the salon is talking about that to the client. And also, I wouldn't, if it was my clients, I would be making sure that they were all booked in for those services before they left after that first visit.
Yeah, and L'Oréal are giving us a great tool to bring the clients back, because we're all focusing on the next sort of 6 weeks. It's going to be crazy. But, you know, we had it before, because people go so long and not having had the hair done, we need to encourage them to come back into the salon. So if they've got a journey and a path and they're already booked in for it, then that happy days, you know, that's great both for our clients and for the salons. It just needs to have a little bit of forethought about it.
Definitely. Clients come for our expertise. You know, I'm sure a client doesn't want to come for one balayage which looks great for a month and then starts to deteriorate. They need that plan, and they want to make sure that if they are spending all that money on it, that it stays looking great for, you know, a couple of months, until they really need to have it redone again. So I think it's part of the service too.
They don't know, you know, I think as hairdressers sometimes, because we're so ensconced in our world and we're so passionate and we love it so much, and all our team do, that we think the clients know what we're talking about. But, you know, they sort of nod along to balayage and they're probably thinking, what the hell is it? So we have to educate them and explain to them what it is and what can be done for their hair. It's personalising their hair, which, you know, who wouldn't like that?
Most definitely. And are you doing any changes to your salon menu to do with kind of the balayage side of your options, or are you keeping it as is and are you just going to bespoke it for each client? What advice would you give to someone on that side of things?
We have quite an extensive menu, salon menu anyway, but we are bespoking it to each client. I think it's really great to be clear on the cost as well of a balayage service. I think it's good to point out at the beginning what they will need to invest in, really, to keep it maintained. So I think clarity is the most important thing. You know, if a client is looking at a balayage thinking it's a really low cost service, generally it's not going to be if they wanted it to look like the picture they bring in. And I think it's our duty to tell clients and create that path for them.
Yeah, because we don't want anyone to have a shock when they get to the reception desk. We want them to be aware of the cost, or the roundabout cost, and also time. God, please don't say you've only got 2 hours on your parking.
Yeah.
You know, let's make sure
that is the key thing.
We can't rush it. This is going to take time. So again, it goes right back to the beginning. Consultation, put it all in there, give them an idea of how much it's going to be, and then everyone's on the same page. We like to be transparent with as much as we possibly can, honest and transparent. Yeah.
So much great advice here. It's fantastic. Yeah. Do you have any expert advice on how to make French balayage profitable for your business?
I think my advice would be, like I said before, and don't let that client leave without booking in those appointments.
Yes, repeat bookings. But
it's important that the stylist takes onus on that. You know, we can't rely on front of house to know when they will all this. You know, it's a bespoke service and it needs that stylist to guide that client and to tell the front of house how it should be booked in and when.
And we came up with a great plan after the first lockdown, where we have reservation sheets printed for every single client. So when they come into the salon, their sheet is standing up in front of them, and it'll say June Meadows, and then we will. So her name's there. I wonder if she's watching. For a very long-term plan. And she's taken her to a very clean station that's especially for her. Her name's on there, reserved for June. And then on the back, we have all different columns of information. So we put our colour details down on what we've done. We put when we next need to see the client, and then we put recommended retail. And then that goes to reception just before we start that final blow dry, when we know exactly what we've done. Then we pop it over to reception, because I don't want team members behind the desk. You know, we've got to think of social distancing. So we just have the front of house there. The reservation sheet goes in. She knows exactly when we've said the client needs to come back. So when June comes through, she'll say, you know, can I make your next appointment, June? Because Sally said she needs to see you in 6 weeks from today. And then, you know, would you like to take any of the recommended retail home with you today? Because you know, it's written down here, whatever. So it's just it's sort of just tweaking those final the final journey, and
Yeah.
then we've asked them everything, and if they don't take any retail, at least we've done our job and recommended it and asked them about it. And if they don't make that last appointment, but at least we've said it. And that's what I say to my team. Just, this is what you should be doing. This is your job. As long as you do that, then you've done everything possible, and you're on to your next client, and away we go.
Yeah. And I think just adding to that, when we do give all the front of house, the information that they need to complete their side of the service, I think that does enhance the sort of luxury experience. I think it's much better for the front of house to know exactly, what they should be doing rather than fumbling around at the desk waiting for the stylist. I think it just makes it a much more slicker
it does. It can be very awkward when the stylist is saying to the front of house, this is sort of how much it is. We want to get over that. We want it to be much more professional. And I invested in front of house in every salon years ago because they sort of run the salon from there, and we need their help, and then we can get on and do hair, which is what we're good at.
That's fantastic. And that's brilliant tips there for the rebooking process, because you as the professional are telling the client when they should be returning, as opposed to asking the client when they would like to return. So you're taking charge of that aspect of rebooking.
Yeah, and it also puts it into the stylist's hands, because I say to the team, the client wants to hear it from you. However good the front of house is, she hasn't done your hair, it's you that know. It's like when the dentist says, "I'll see, this is what we'll do next time." You believe the dentist more than you would the dental receptionist. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's working for us anyway.
When do you start that discussion about rebooking? Obviously, you write it down on the card that's on the chair. Do you start that at the very beginning with the consultation, or does it come in during the appointment?
Depends. If it's a colour that's going to take a few times to achieve, then we'd start it right from the beginning. But if it's your cut and blow dry that comes every 5 to 6 weeks, then we do say, I want to see you at this sort of date. And we have a loyalty system, whereas if the client comes within 6 weeks, then they get 10% discount. But we don't do it if they're a day over. We're really strict about it, because otherwise it can turn into a nightmare situation. So it has to be, and that really gets people to rebook back in. We've found that's the biggest thing, and then they acquire points, and then we do different promotions for them throughout the year, and they love it, because then they feel as though they're part of our culture and part of our sort of hairdressing family.
Definitely. And I think with regards to sort of talking about maintenance, I kind of briefly touch on it in the consultation, but then throughout the whole appointment, I am asking them questions that are giving me the clues and the answers to how we work together in the future. So I don't know how any stylist has any time to ask a client when they're going on holiday. I hate that anyway, but there's so much information that you need to gather, and I think, and that's why we want to film this video later, because we want to tell our clients what kind of information they're having to gather,
so that they're making use of their time. Because that consultation is going to be literally 5 minutes. I mean, it to be about that long, and we don't want the client to waste their professional appointment by talking about something that's not related. No. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put it across, but by the time that video rolls on, it's a difficult one, because you don't want to say, please don't talk to us about what
they just want to make the most of our time.
Yes, they need to make the most of our time.
If they have any questions, throughout the whole service as well, and not just, the consultation is where you gather all the information that you need to decide on what you're going to do with the hair, but then after that comes the consultation of maintenance and product recommendation is really, really important. And I gather lots of info, how they start, what brush they use, all these kind of things really tell us a lot about how they style their hair and what help they need from us, really.
Yeah, and to make that, I'm sure you've heard this before, it's probably an old one, but it's one that I say to all my team. I'm going to come in and I'm going to take all the products away from the salon, and you're just going to do the hair without any of them at all. And they're all, oh my God, I couldn't possibly do that. I said, yes, but you expect your clients to do it at home. Please tell them about it, and then they'll have this sort of lovely groomed hair. So that's just something that I do. It seems to work.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we're getting positive response from people that are tuning in as well. Donna said a brilliant idea with the sheet regarding when clients need to come back into the salon. Everyone's loving the idea of the educational consultation tutorial that you're going to be doing for your clients. When would it be possible to, where will people be able to see that? Would you mind if people had a look at what you were doing with that afterwards?
It will be on our Sally Montague Hair Group Instagram page.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
and that
follow
will
us on that. We're doing all sorts of it's interesting. We do one about every 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, I think it's just really important. It's been really important for us to continue engaging with our clients during this time. What we wouldn't have wanted to do is just, not speak to them at all, because they come to us very, very regularly. We have clients that come a couple of times a week. So it's really important that we continue our relationship with them. And so that's what we've tried to do via our videos throughout the million lockdowns.
Yeah, I think that's probably been our biggest hit throughout the lockdowns, is doing these videos. And I say to my other daughter, films them, and I always say, gosh, I bet my clients are sick to death of seeing me, because we're in a bubble, so there's just the three of us.
Yeah.
But they seem to love it. They seem to be interested in the things we're talking about. And I think that to close your salon down and not see your clients for 3 months or have no contact with them is very difficult, because you're losing that connection. Whereas we've been able to do that, we've been able to talk to them through it, and they've loved it. Whatever we've been talking about seems to have come down really well, and they're all sort of prepared for what's happening. So we're hoping by doing this consultation video today that they'll get information to bring with them, so that they get a better service.
Because also one thing that is really challenging at the moment is the fact that you don't really realise how much a mask during a consultation can take away. A lot of it can be really hard to do a consultation. I mean, if you need to see a face shave to recommend the right haircut, and so all these things are really
it's been very, very hard to work in all that and to be able to communicate. I mean, I walk through my salons and I'll say to clients, I'm smiling, and they'll say, "What are your eyes?" Because that's what we've built our businesses up on, being super friendly and all that sort of thing. But you can't tell. I mean, at the moment I'm employing apprentices, and I'm saying, smiling is the first thing you can do. But I mean, we wouldn't know whether they're smiling or not. So
no, you've got to smile through the eyes now, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope it's not been too long when we can lose a bit of that PPE.
Brilliant. And Paul has said he's loving what this the chat has been all about, and he said he completely agrees, and the only way to understand a client's expectations is to give them a good consultation. So it's in complete agreement there. And we've all
I think that's
Oh, is it?
We've also had it's a hot topic, and I would say we've got a whole session during our Hairdressers Journal .online event tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on patch testing. So please do register for that today to tune into that for free tomorrow on hairdressersjournal.online. But Sarah has asked the question, so I will ask you both. What are your thoughts on patch testing, or clients when you return? What process have you got in place for patch testing?
We're doing it. I mean, I know to all those hairdressers out there, this is a real pain, but how would you possibly feel if somebody had a reaction?
It's just not worth it.
There'd be no answer for it, would there? You should have done it. So we are patch testing every single client. We've had our booking office open now for about 10 days, and we're still not on the reservation list. We're still ringing all those clients that were booked in and missed their appointment because we closed, because it's taking so long, because we're saying to all of them they have to have a patch test and an allergy. We're calling it an allergy test because we think that sounds a bit, patch test sounds a bit more sort of casual, whereas an allergy test, and people, a lot of people have had their injections, a lot of people have had COVID but didn't know about it. It could have changed their medical makeup, and we just want them to be safe. So we are doing it with every single person, and we haven't had a lot of clients have understood, and they know that we're trying to keep it safe for them. There's been people with reactions out there, and I have seen it myself. I've had it over the year. I mean, I've been hairdressing over 45 years, and I've had it I've seen it 3 times and it's not good. So it's best to be safe.
Yeah, I think I've been taking a lot of the calls for the booking office. I've been sort of in and out, and the response really, once you tell them that it's to do with lots more people are reacting because of COVID and because of the injection, they're totally fine with that. I think, and we're booking clients in for their allergy alert tests.
We are,
and we're doing that to limit, every 15 minutes, just to limit the amount of people, and so that we're more aware, and so that there's not loads of waiting around. Obviously, it's going to be really busy salon-wise anyway, but then we are having our front of house. We're going to educate them on exactly how to do the allergy alert test. But I think we will all feel much better knowing that all of our clients will be skin tested, and we could cut corners, but it would just be the worst thing ever to open your salons up after all of this whole year and then have something like that happen.
Yeah, so, and business-wise, it would just be terrible for anyone's reputation to be caught on something like this. It just wouldn't. There's no good way around it. I mean, I've looked at everything because it's a massive deal. But we're doing everyone.
Amazing. And Denise has asked, it is a hot topic and we do understand that, and it is a session we'll be doing tomorrow as well, so please do tune in for that, specifically about patch testing.
Yeah, we will. Great.
Yeah, definitely. But Denise is asking, what is your process for patch testing? Are you inviting them into the salon once you're allowed to reopen on the 12th?
Yes. And to be honest, a lot of clients have wanted, in those first few days, they've wanted to come in for a cut and blow dry, and then they're going to have their allergy alert test when they have their cut and blow dry. Because
we've what we've said to them is it will give us more time to do the consultation. So the people that have got a colour booked in from Wednesday, they'll be able to come into the salon, have that done. But for the first couple of days, those clients will be able to have a really good consultation. It gives us a bit more time because we won't be colouring. And they're coming in for a cut and blow dry, and it seems to be, we're fully booked, so it doesn't seem to deter anybody.
I don't think it's upset, as far as I know. It's not upset any clients. They do seem, but we have been totally honest with why we're doing it. We're not just, and I've had clients on the phone say, "Oh, you're just doing it. I haven't coloured my hair at home," and I have been saying, "Well, it's not actually to do with that this time. It's to do with the fact that every client in the whole group is being reskin tested."
Okay.
Brilliant. So it's that education piece, isn't it, which is really important.
It is. Yeah, it is. And when they know that you're caring,
definitely,
which is what we do, then they understand.
Fantastic. Just going back to the topic, just because we're getting towards the end of the session now, which is crazy, the time has flown. I know, but just quickly, how are you using bespoke and personalised services to extend your client journey?
With regards, so how do you mean with
So in terms of, for instance, by suggesting, kind of face frames or kind of different bespoke elements you can give to clients that would encourage them to come back more regularly.
We've probably done a lot of that on Instagram, haven't we? We've probably shown a lot of that as we've been going along, so that they've been sort of building a picture of. I mean, I've been talking about, the American bangs that people are having at the front of their hair, and should you have a fringe, should you grow it out, should you do this, and then should you have them colour to personalise that, because if you've got a lighter front, then you need a darker piece behind it to give it that shape and texture, and I've explained that as we've gone along in our Instagram. So we've done it like that, but also in between times when we've been able to open up, we've discussed it with them, and a lot of people have got that book back in. I mean, I said to all my clients before the Christmas lockdown, if you book in, then you'll be the top of the queue if we go into lockdown. And they did book in, and
which is why we've had so many phone calls to make.
Yeah, they're so grateful that they did, because they got in, they've got their appointment book, we know what we're doing, and we're ready to go. And it was just sort of pre-planning and really working on that journey. I just feel that in all the salons with the team, when you've got a team working with you, all these great hairdressers, and we have therapists as well, that they want to know that they've got a journey as in their career as much as you have with the client. So we're always we're evolving and doing new standards so that it excites everyone. Because if your team's excited, then your clients will be as well.
And I think for me, the worst thing that would happen is a client just came into me and said, are we just having roots again? Are we just doing roots again? Every time you constantly, if you're using your time with that client to talk about what appointments they can have, they don't always need to come in for their sort of classic services. They could come in just for a toner and a blow dry and a smart bond or a treatment. It doesn't have to be big appointments each time. You don't have to walk out with £150 bill each time. And I think telling the client that they can nip to the salon for an hour and have a treatment and a blow dry,
they can,
just to make themselves feel great. And I think clients are open to that. We just need to educate them on what they can and can't, what they can book in for.
And when we're colouring, we try never to come out of dispensary with one bowl. It's often 2 or 3, or we don't comb a colour through. We'll weave pieces and we'll do a few different things just to tweak it, make it look different, and show that you don't want to be colouring your hair at home because you haven't got these skills that we've trained for years to do as a professional hairdresser. And that's why people come to the salon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get on my soapbox about that.
No, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic, Sally. And that's a great point, actually, and maybe somewhere where we can finish as well. So the importance of reminding clients that you are the hair professional. And for you, is it about being able to prescribe what types of appointments will work for them, when they should be having those appointments?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think just keep talking about it all the time, obviously in that initial consultation, but while you're doing their hair, just keep going over it and telling them about what you do and what excites you as a stylist, and what you're I often talk to my clients about trends, but not in a way that, because I get really excited by fashion campaigns and things, so I tell my clients about that. And I think bring your clients in on that journey that you're going through, and
they want to know that you've got it in your head. Clients want to know that you're progressing and looking. I mean, I've done that all my life. I've read Vogue like the Bible. I mean, I know now everything's on social media, so I do that as well. But there's some great images out there, and you can sort of talk to your clients about them, and then they know you're on that path. And you're thinking about them, you care about them, you want them to have the best that they could possibly have out there. And we as professional hairdressers need to show them the way.
And just on that, so we've done loads of education with our team throughout this last lockdown, all via L'Oréal Access, which is the most incredible platform. And I think if stylists go and I've tried to encourage our team to tell the clients what courses they've been doing. There's been some incredible webinars, e-learning. There's so many courses on there, and I think just telling them what they've done and how they could have part of what they've learned there in their next service is really inspiring for the client.
And what client wouldn't want to prefer to hear about that than what walk you went on?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Everyone's over that conversation.
Oh, it's been a fantastic session, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lots of expert hints and tips there that you've been sharing with everybody. This session was supported by L'Oréal Professionnel Paris. So for more information about how you can use the L'Oréal Professionnel Paris new 2-step French balayage technique, which both Sally and Angel will be using, won't you, from April, to extend your client hair journey planning process, you can use the link which we've got in the comments on both Zoom and Facebook. Before we close, ladies, do you have any final words of wisdom while everyone's getting prepped and ready for returning to the salon?
I would say stay calm, good luck, and enjoy it as well. I really
enjoy it, but please give them something to come back to you for within 6 weeks. Don't let them think, oh well, I can go now for 6 months, because we need those clients to keep coming back regularly.
Yeah.
And those cards that you mentioned sound genius, having the cards.
Honestly, they've been fantastic, and we are going to continue with them. The clients have loved it. It's a bit like going to a 5-star restaurant and your reservation signs there.
It just makes you feel, and it's been cleaned and reserved for you, and it's great for the stylist as well to be able to write all their details on there and not have to run to the desk and tap away on the computer while there's someone coming in to reception. It just feels a lot more
And it's
luxurious.
been posted all over social media. When clients come in and see it, they take a photograph of their
Oh,
hair.
brilliant.
So it's been a real hit. Yeah, I have my oldest daughter's our brand manager, and she's really great at things like that. So she came up with that one, and it's been a great hit.
Oh, fantastic. Do have a look on the Sally Montague Group Instagram page, because we were also talking about the consultation sessions that you'll be giving to your clients, which I think is worth everybody checking out as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. There's some good stuff on there if you want to have a look. They all help each other, and I think this is great. I think there's never been a better time for hairdressers to share. And I think that's really fabulous that we're all sharing ideas with each other, and it'll all make us better for it.
Yeah,
most definitely. Well, thank you so much for giving up your time for us this morning. We've thoroughly enjoyed the session, and check out Sally and Angel's Instagram page, and also have a look at l'orealprofessionnel.co.uk to see how you can use the new French balayage technique to keep your clients excited and coming back for more on a regular basis.
Good luck, everyone.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck for next week. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye.